My name is Imthiyaz, and we're just observing, and my colleague, another Ali, is a member of parliament as well as I am, and we are just observing, and thanks for giving this opportunity. Maldives is a tsunami-affected country and so vulnerable to climate change and sea level rise as well. So we need adequate housing, but at the same time we should also consider about leaving the country before it's submerged. Perhaps to another country you could help us with that. Maldives has a very modern democratic constitution with the values, democratic values and principles, as well as guaranteeing human rights and housing right as well. The Constitution guarantees acquiring and owning, inheriting, transferring, and otherwise transacting of such property. And the Article 23 of the Constitution says it's on economic and social rights. It says every citizen has a right to housing, and the state with its ability and resources shall undertake the progressive realization of these rights by reasonable measures. So the Constitution guarantees these fundamental rights in the Maldives, and also the Maldives is signatory to the UDHR and other relevant conventions and covenants, such as International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. We ratified the convention in 2006, I remember, I think. We are signatory to Convention on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, Convention on the Elimination of all forms of racial discrimination as well, and also we are a member of the UN Human Rights Council. So I think we have a good role to play internationally. The vast majority of the Maldivians live in the capital island, Male, which is around 1 kilometer. So, because it's designed, the country is designed in such a way that all the islanders, the people living in outer islands, have to travel to the Maldives, to Male, to reside for education, for jobs, etc. So, for that reason, the housing issue is a big issue in the country. There is great inequality in the country, social injustices, and the UNDP report says that 41% of the Maldivians live under $1 per day. But Maldives is a rich country, but inequality exists in the country. The Maldives, there are about 200 islands where people live on, very tiny islands. You can go jogging around the whole island in just about 15 minutes. So it's impossible for the governments to provide all the necessities to the islanders. For that very reason, perhaps some governments' policy is to transfer the islanders to other bigger islands. And people do not agree to this most of the times. So it's been a big challenge in the country. But my party's policy is to unite the islands through other mechanisms, not to forcefully transfer the people to other islands, to bigger islands. So we were working on that when our government, the Maldivian Democratic Party's government, was ousted in a coup in 2012. The biggest challenge perhaps for basic fundamental rights such as housing may be the judiciary in the country, like Sri Lankan speaker just announced. We also have a judiciary which has been acting like some freak of nature. So you cannot guarantee the fundamental rights guaranteed in the Constitution are not really, served. You may have heard of the Indian airports infrastructure, the GMR was a $500 million investment. GMR was evicted from the Maldives, terminating the agreement, and the Singapore arbitration said it was unlawful. So this is the country going through. You cannot enjoy the rights guaranteed in the Constitution. The Male is the capital city. Like I said, most of the islanders come to Male for education, and there aren't enough houses or housing in Male. People may rent an apartment of about 250 square feet for around $1,000 per month. So it's very cramped. The whole family would have to live in that little apartment. You cannot say when the owner may evict you. And when such an issue arises, you have to go to the civil court of the country, which will perhaps take years and years to finish a court case. So such issues exist in the country. Judiciary is the main challenge in the country in this kind of matters. So, thank you.
My name is Hussain. We should also know that the amount of rent the islanders who are living in Maldives, how much they have to pay. If you compare to even Washington DC or London, they would be paying the same amount of money for housing for those people who are living in capital Male. And the sad part of this story is that most of the people, I mean the landowners in Male, they migrate to like better places in Colombo and some in India, Malaysia, and in Australia. So all this money which have been generated from the housing facilities in Male would be drained out of the country, and that again creates further problems. So basically, throughout the years, the policies of the government, they have created an environment where the people, they are forced to, in a way they are forced to come to Male, and they have no places to live. And when we talk about the eviction, I think we also have to talk about the poor facilities which are provided in these like islands. I think not even 20 or 25 islands, the remaining islands would have a sewerage system. So we have no option, but we have to come to Male, and then there are no space. I mean, even for a price of this much that he has mentioned, there are no houses. There are no houses. Like for whatever money that you are willing to pay, there are no houses at all. So it's a serious issue. I mean, I think that's somewhat different from the issues that we have, discussed over here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.